Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Alexandra Anele, and I am a self-taught makeup artist with a background in painting. Today, we're doing trashy Y2K makeup for funsies. Because literally, one of you commented a little while ago, and you said, can you please do a trashy Y2K makeup tutorial for funsies? And I was like, hell yeah, I can. So that's what we're doing today. I already did my, I did most of my base. I have just like my typical Lisa Eldridge skin tint, powder. I did some contouring. Do your base the way you want. I just didn't do much brightening with concealer because in like, I don't know, I was looking through photos and I feel like there wasn't a ton of like highlighting happening. But to be honest, back then in like the 2000s, I was like I was in like 5th grade, 4th grade. 5th grade. So I wasn't completely tapped in to the highlighting that was happening. But when I was looking through some photos of like your typical Y2K girlies, it didn't look like it just didn't really look like much was happening on the face, you know? It was all about the eyes and like a trashy lip. So we're gonna start off with the eyes. I'm gonna go in first with my Hindash Canvas color fluid to get rid of all these veins up here. We're using light eyeshadow today, so I want to make sure I have a nice light base. Okay, I'm going to start off with my waterline, and I'm going to use this Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in the shade Cool Coyote. So I'm going to place this, because I'm going to try to dry my waterline. Every time I do this, I feel like it doesn't really work for me, but Billie Eilish did it. And people show us all the time. Who was the first person to talk about this? Was it Aaron Parsons? That I'm aware of, anyway. I feel like it just makes my eyes more watery, but... So this is kind of a nice, like, cool toned taupey kind of color. Depending on your coloring, you could just use black. But for my waterline, I want to use, like, a taupey. Something kind of taupe that's not going to be, like, ridiculously black. We're going to use black elsewhere. And then I'm just going to drag that a little bit onto my lower lash line. And I'm going to take it up. Ooh, that tickles, in my tight line as well. So kind of into the lashes. Bah! I'm just going in with like a teeny little bit on this Q-tip of my canvas fluid over that after wiping it off. Just fix a little mistake. Everything's fine. We survive. We survive. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with the Huda Beauty Creamy Kohl liner in Very Vanta. This is just extremely black. I like this because it's tiny though. So I'm gonna place this all along my lash line. A little thicker on the outer part, but all just like dotting. And this is a nice creamy kohl, so it's really easy to blend out. Then I'm going to grab my Rephr 03 brush and just kind of pat. If you feel like you don't have a good sense of precision, then patting will help with that rather than just kind of like rubbing it back and forth. And while this liner will set, it gives you like a good amount of blending time, but I would suggest using, like doing one eye at a time, not like placing it down and moving on to the other eye. And then I'm just going to kind of drag this out. Just a little bit. We're gonna keep it messy. We'll come back to it. Okay, and then I'm gonna take that on my lower lash line. Just connecting it. And I'm gonna keep it kind of tight to the lash line. And I'm personally not going to take it all the way. Just like halfway, and then just kind of blend, since we already have that tight line with the gray. But again, like, I mean, you can just do black. It depends on your preference. You can just go in with the black. Doesn't matter, especially if you're someone who already has like darker coloring. You can just use black. I'm gonna thicken up the outer top edge a little bit. And I know I have skipping with this eyeliner. I'm just gonna ignore it for now. We'll come back to it. Just kind of want to get the shape right now. All right, I am going to go into Rock Bottom from the ColourPop Stone Cold Fox palette, which is just like a super black eyeshadow. And I'm gonna pick that up on my Sigma smudge brush. This is the E21. And I'm just making sure to really tap off my brush, like working it into the bristles and then really tapping it off so that I don't have fallout. And then I'm just gonna press this into that black liner, which is just gonna help reinforce the liner and also keep it put. And it'll also add a little bit of dimension. Although I can tell you right now, I did not know that this was an option in the early 2000s. Although in the early 2000s, I don't know if I was wearing eyeliner. I think I was a little too young. I'm gonna take this on my lower lash line as well. Just on the very outer part. And then I'm gonna switch to my Refer 28 brush, clean, and I'm just gonna buff the edges of that liner. Starting with the bottom, and I'm just gonna use that to kind of like extend and also clean up. So this one extended a little bit more easily. This one's a little short. So I'm gonna grab my E06 brush from my Sigma set, which I don't know if this is still available, but if it is, I'll link it. Last I heard, I think there were like 70 left. And that was a little while ago, so I'm kind of assuming that they're low. Okay, again from the Stone Cold Fox palette, I'm gonna pick up You Rock, this taupey shade. I'm gonna use my Refer 14 brush. This is such a good cool toned palette, if you're not familiar with it. And I am just going to go right above my crease and start defining this area, especially out here. And then just kind of fade it in towards the brow a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna grab my Refer 13 brush, which is just a smaller blender. And I'm gonna dip into Rumor Hill from ColourPop, that same palette. So this is a really nice, cool toned gray. It kind of has like a purpley, yeah, it almost has like a purpley blue base to it. And I'm gonna focus this on the outer part of my eye, above the crease, blending out. So I'm not taking this in far, I'm just kind of like building up some contrast. And then I'm gonna gently, like once I have enough contrast up here, up above the crease, I'm gonna gently kind of like blend it down onto the lid a little bit. And then I'm just gonna pat to meet that black. I'm gonna dip back into You Rock, that first taupey shade, and just go over that to do a little softening and blending up here around those edges and just like really bringing this out. I'm gonna pick up once again that 28 brush from Refer and dip into You Rock. This is a little bit more concentrated brush. I'm gonna bring this up a little high, just under that liner, into those creases, under my eyes a little bit, just to kind of like soften that and also kind of like bring it up a little bit. Do you see how it just kind of like, this looks like a little messy, which like for Y2K makeup was fine. Like I feel like Y2K makeup was messy, but it's just like a little detail. Now for my lid, I'm gonna mix a couple colors. So I'm gonna dip into the Divination palette from Robert Welsh. And I'm gonna go into this blue, which is a matte shade, Hydromancy, but I'm gonna mix it with Dreamful from the Stone Cold Fox palette, which has like a matte base, but it has some pearl in there. So kind of between the two, because I don't want like foiled. I feel like it wasn't foiled. Shadows weren't foiled, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna apply that using my Sigma E54 brush. And by mixing, I just mean I'm just gonna tap back and forth between those two shades. I'm patting it on the back of my hand to just kind of like work it into the bristles so that I don't have like way too much, you know, so it doesn't get everywhere. And then I'm gonna pat this all over the lid, starting with the inner part of the lid, and then just buffing. Oh God, powdery. Potentially better to do this before your black eyeliner, but you know. And then I'm just gonna bring this in here. Okay, just dusted that off my lashes. How do we feel? Look at this, look at that. That like icy blue. Could it be more Y2K? Like, are you kidding me? Then I'm gonna use that same brush, I'm just gonna wipe it off, and then I'm gonna dip into Dreamful, the white with the tiny bit of pearl. And I'm gonna press this on my brow bone. There's still a little bit of blue in there, which is kind of fun. It's gonna go on my brow bone. Ooh, you know? Ooh, and then you know what? I'm gonna pick a little bit more of that just because like I mixed it with the blue, so it's already got a little bit of that, and I'm just gonna press it. Can you focus on my eyeball, please? It's so rude of you. I'm gonna press it in the inner corner. And then just drag it down a little bit so that we get just a little bit of that blue everywhere. It's just kind of fun, you know? I had a friend in high school who would do straight up two-tone. This wasn't Y2K, but straight up two-tone, like green pink eyeshadow. Like the inner half of the lid was green or like pink, and then the outer half was like green. Like no blending, just color. Looking back at photos, I'm just like, oh my God, I wish I had makeup tutorials. I wish I had makeup tutorials back in my day. Cool. All right, while we're here, let's do the brows. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use my MAC taupe pencil. Now skinny brows. Okay, it was skinny brows. Let me see if I can find a photo of people's brows back in the day. I feel like Gabriette is like the one, but are her brows shaved? Because I'm not doing that. I'm gonna just like, I'm gonna make them dark, and I'm just gonna focus the color right in the center of it. And then we'll try to make them look really skinny with my soap. I feel like the arch was everything too. So I'm gonna follow my natural shape, but I'm literally just kind of like drawing in a line. And then I'm gonna extend the tail because that feels trashy to me in the best way possible. It's like no different, the tail, than what I do with my brows now. I'm just gonna kind of brush these into place. Look how skinny they look. So to make these stay in place, Marilia Scott Arch Nemesis, this is her brow gel. It is literally glue, okay? Like it keeps your brows put. So I'm just gonna use a little bit of this. So I'm gonna brush them down and up. And I just want them to like be in line, in this like skinny line. So the opposite of trying to make brows look full. This is really giving me, what was her name? Olivia Wilde from the OC. I don't remember what her character's name was. But I feel like these eyebrows. And she had the purple streak in her hair. Perfect. Okay, I feel like that's pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna curl my lashes with my Velour Lash Curler. And I'm gonna apply one coat of my Clio Kill Lash Mascara, which is waterproof. I'm using waterproof because I want my lashes to actually hold this curl. Like I want them to stay up because I am wearing like really black liner. And if I don't do this, you're not gonna be able to see them. Although, if this was me doing my makeup, I didn't know about waterproof mascara, and I just loaded up Lash Blast until my lash line was as black as possible. While I wait for that to dry down, I'm just gonna fill in some little gaps. So like I have this like naked spot right here in my brow. that I just want to fill in a little bit so it doesn't look so disconnected. And rounded front brows were like, I feel like they were such a thing. Like spermy looking brows. Okay, now that my lashes are dry, I'm gonna go in with the Make Beauty mascara. And I'm gonna build this up on top of the waterproof mascara to really thicken my lashes. Plus this mascara is super black. But if you want a thickening mascara that's waterproof, Lash Blast does have a waterproof version that is really, really black. And that's what I usually use, but I think I finished it or something. I'm gonna use that same mascara on my lower lashes, which I honestly have to get so close to my camera to do properly. So I'll show you this pathetic little coat that I'm doing first, and then I gotta go. Ooh. Okay, blush and bronzer wise, I feel like it was mostly bronzer. Like bronzer was the thing, at least from my recollection. Like I don't really think I wore blush. I'm just gonna take a little bit of my Huda powder because I didn't set my entire face. Because I wasn't sure if I wanted to use a cream, but I think I do. So I'm just gonna press this into the outer perimeter of my face so it's all matte. And then for bronzer, blush bronzer, I was kind of looking at some photos of Hilary Duff. Is this crazy? I feel like this look requires like a baby pink blush, but I don't know. I just feel like everybody's wearing bronzer. But this is, I was gonna use the Say blush because I was like, oh, this is kind of like a bronzy color. I'm a little nervous because it's like real orange. But it just feels right, you know, for the trashiness of the time. So I'm gonna use this ridiculously expensive rougher brush. It was from a collection, like a specific collection. I don't know if it's available, but it is extremely expensive, but it's so soft. It's got these little flowers on it, if you're like curious. Pick up the Say blush. This is the Chow, the Super Suede Radiant Blush Powder in Chow. Pick this up, tap off my brush. And I'm gonna place this like right in here. Kind of in my contour. That just feels right. That just feels right. And it actually looks a little bit more pink on the skin, but it kind of gives like a sunburnt look. And I just feel like that's right. I feel like this is right. And then I'm gonna dust a little bit of that on the top of my nose. It feels right. Okay, let's do lips. So there's the typical lip, like concealer lip, like nude lips with like a cool toned lip liner. But we also did frosted back then, you know? We did a lot of frosted. So I'm kind of torn. And I recently picked up I think I mentioned this in some other videos, that I was gonna pick up the Merit lipsticks. I did, and one of them is called Millennial. And I was like, ooh, that's like so perfect. But I don't think that it would look fabulous for this. Maybe I will use it, I don't know, whatever. I'm gonna start off with MAC Stone Classic lip liner. I'm just trying to decide if I wanna like overline my lips at all. I think I'm gonna. I'm gonna do the corners, you know, darken out the corners. And then, here's my little guy. I have this little brush from Rephr. This is the 21 brush. It's become my favorite lip brush. Lip brushes suck. They're all too stiff. This is my lip brush, okay? I'm just gonna blend around the edges a little so it's softened. I'm obsessed with it. And then I'm gonna try the Millennial lipstick from Merit, just because I feel like it will really work for this. Look at that color. I was a little like, am I gonna like this? And then I tried it on and I was like, this is fabulous. This is the shade Millennial. I'm just focusing it in the center. I don't even really want to like blend it into the lip liner as much. You know what I mean? But here's the thing. I could also put a little bit of shimmer in there. This is what I used to do. because my lashes never held a curl, and I never used waterproof mascara or even knew that it was a thing. So I would just like load up the Lash Blast in blackest black and then push my eyelashes up. It worked. But I would just do that throughout the day. So for the shimmer, Donnie, the Half Magic, what are these called? Crystal Butter. Yeah, these are lip balms that are shimmer. They're so sick. Look at that. Oh, I love it. I'm gonna use Sugarhead, which is the lightest one. I'm just gonna go right in the center. Over top of Millennial. Yeah, see, I got a little bit of that like blue toned, it's like a pinky shimmer. Look at that. I'm not gonna take it all over. I'm just gonna go right in the center. Ooh, I'm obsessed. That's it. Did we wear a highlight? I don't think so. I feel like there was no highlighter. I should set it. I'm just enjoying this tutorial, so I'm kind of like out of it. I'm gonna set it using the Easy Bake setting spray from Huda Beauty. I don't know if you're supposed to shake it. Where's my fan? Ugh, I can't close this fan properly. I can't open it properly either. Okay, give up. Just give up. All right, guys. This is my Trashy Y2K makeup. What do you think? I love it. It's very, Y2K was very like futuristic, trashy, kind of like messy, but like cute. You know what I mean? It's like a bunch of that shit. All right, guys, this is my Trashy Y2K makeup for funsies. I love it. I'm obsessed with it. I wish I had somewhere to go, but I don't at all. I have to just go do my dishes. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. Please let me know if there are any other like specific makeup looks, celebrity recreations, whatever it is. Leave them in the comments down below, the suggestions. Subscribe and like and comment, blah, 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 blah. Become a member if you want to support my channel. I am going to start doing live streams again. I'm actually planning one for this week, which will have already happened by the time you see this video. I'm probably going to be starting off with public ones and then doing some members only ones. So I'm trying to get back into my schedule of that, just to let you know. And my video just cut out while I was rambling. I might cut this out. I love you. I'm gonna go. It's hot. I gotta take off the sweatshirt. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye. I bought CDs. How fucking sweet is that? I bought props. All right. What the fuck?